Welcome to the second episode of the Legal Vixen podcast. My name is Karen Kenny. I'm a trial attorney. I have 30 years of experience, and I'm so glad you're all here to join us on this journey. Okay, I had to wet my whistle. Kristen Widmann, I can't believe I have you on my podcast. It's just now starting. Can you explain to everybody what you do for a living?
What I do for a living?
Yes, now.
Now, I am a private investigator, and I work for private attorneys, and I work for the County of Orange on the alternate defense, and I work for federal defense attorneys.
It's me, right?
Yes.
I'm one of many that you have chose to work with, and I appreciate that. Before you became, so let me back up. As a private investigator, you're actually certified or licensed through the state?
Licensed through the state.
Okay. So that's like a private investigator certification?
Yes. So in order to be a private investigator through the state of California, you have to have a certain amount of hours. You take a test, you pass the test, and then you are a private investigator.
Nice. Do you have to have a college degree to do that, or?
No, but there are several. People call me and ask, can I be a private investigator? And sure, but you have to have all this experience. And it is a lot of experience.
Nice. So how long have you actually been a private investigator through the state of California?
Over 3 years.
Okay. And before that, what did you do?
Before that, I worked for the County of Orange at the Public Defender's Office. And then they have secondary office and a third office. Mm-hmm. And I worked at the Associate Defender.
And that's what we met at the Public Defender's
We met
office.
at the Public Defender.
How long did you work for the Public Defenders?
Since 1991.
Wow. Okay. So you started
just yesterday. I
You started in 91. I didn't start with the office as a deputy public defender for 10 years after you. I started in 2001 before 9/11. I was at juvie.
Okay.
So, wow. I didn't realize you had been there that long. So how many years did you put in before you retired?
32. Over 32.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. You don't look old enough to have 32 years of experience as a county employee. Why did you want to? Well, let me back up. Were you always an investigator, or did you start in a different position with the Public Defender's Office before you became an investigator?
I started as a paralegal.
Okay.
And before that, I'd actually worked. I did an internship with the district attorney's office.
What?
Mm-hmm.
You worked for the enemy? Mm-hmm. And then you came to light and realized you needed to get on the good side, right?
It was interesting. It was through victim witness and helping people in Superior Court or downtown Santa Ana. I was there to assist women and men, whomever came in, who needed help with a restraining order, filling out the paperwork. And so I did that for about a year and a half.
Did you like it?
I did. And I wanted to keep doing it. But when I got hired by the public defender, I couldn't work for, it was a conflict.
Right. And
so the question was, Kristen, you need to choose one.
Oh, yeah. I could see that being a conflict.
Yeah, I do see it.
That's so
I was young. I didn't realize that.
So when you started working in the Public Defender's Office, what was your original job title? Paralegal? I
was a paralegal. I worked on capital defense. So
wow.
I was, they brought me in on 3 death penalty cases that were going to trial.
That's crazy.
And so I had about a year and a half before they all went to trial at the same time. Nothing like a summer with a trial.
So did you ever have to start, because I know how the Public Defender's Office works. There's some people that start like clerical and they kind of work their way up to investigators. That was not your situation. You were put on.
I was a paralegal.
Yeah, but
because I had gone to UCI, I had my paralegal certificate.
Certified paralegal.
So when I went in, I was content. I was happy, working. And back then, you could really, I was out in the field, and I was very green. True. I'd always been in the courthouse for, helping people with and it really is the same. For me, and my mindset was I was helping people, and that's what I wanted to do. The system is complex and can be confusing, whether you're filing a restraining order, you're filing for divorce, or you're finding yourself as a defendant in a misdemeanor or a felony. Yeah. So, explaining that to a person in that situation, along with their family or their friends or witnesses who find themselves being drawn in, who have absolutely nothing to do with the case, it's just nice to be there to help them understand that, whoa, it's okay. This is just a process. We'll get through it, and that'll be a memory. Speaking
of cases, and I know you put in a lot of time there, do you have like a most memorable case you worked on?
A most memorable?
Yeah.
The public defender?
Yes. Because I'm sure there's a lot, but...
Yeah. There are a lot, but to choose one, like right now, because my memory is not kidding. One that would be very memorable is working at the associate's office. It is a very small office. It was 2 lawyers, a paralegal, and my partner.
And they only handled death penalty cases, right?
We had death penalty. And if they dropped the death penalty, it was a homicide.
Okay.
And we had one that we just knew he wasn't there.
Wow.
And it was...
So it was like an alibi situation?
No, he had an anklet. But for some reason, nobody had really investigated that part.
You're kidding. So he's being accused of a murder that he wasn't even present at.
Well, they charged him as a gang. They charged him as being the perpetrator at the scene, which was technically impossible because his anklet didn't ever go onto that street in that cul-de-sac.
What was he on an ankle monitor for? Something else?
Prior.
Oh, okay.
Prior, not murder, but
right.
Gang involvement.
Yeah.
The family moved to out of the area, out of the county, actually. But the police agency that was involved, the probation officer wanted him to come back and check in. And so what ends up happening then is when you have to drive all the way back and you're checking in the area that your family is trying to get you out of, what's going to happen is it's just hard. They kind of reconnect with their friends. And then reconnecting with friends causes situation that you may not have known was going on. And now you are, being identified as a shooter.
That's crazy. So you investigated that case, and did it go to trial?
Yes, I went to trial.
Wow. What was the outcome?
We had a not guilty.
Nice. So, and that, I take it you worked hard on the case, especially since you truly believed.
Well, my partner and I, we were the lawyer, my partner and I, we were feeling good. And we were out there pounding,
beating the street.
You pound the pavement, you knock
in the
on
neighborhoods.
Doors. And wow. We were going everywhere. But one of the, probably one of the most instrumental was,
here it comes.
Well, we had to fly out of state.
Where?
We had to find a witness.
Where'd you guys go?
We went to Utah.
Okay.
And so we fly to Utah. We're in trial.
Wait, you were in trial and flew out to Utah?
This all came up in
last
trial.
minute. Okay.
Sometimes that does happen.
Wow.
Because you don't know somebody is relevant or important until
Yeah,
So,
trial's fluid. There's certain times you're like, what? I didn't see that coming.
yeah. So we flew out and we talked to our witness and we basically subpoenaed him. We had to get him out
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And so
Was he a gang
he
member?
doesn't have
Okay.
no, he didn't have ID.
Oh.
It was just a very difficult situation to how are we going to get him?
Did you guys drive him?
We got him here. We got him here. And then that next morning when I picked him up and got him back to his hotel, it was just a very, very long day. And or night, I should say. I think I got home at midnight and we were back in the courtroom very early the next morning. And then I got some ribbing from my partner and lawyer about some situations, and I was a little out of it. It's a lot. You don't sleep. When you're in trial,
Yeah.
and your mind is going,
Especially a murder case,
and you're dealing with witnesses and making sure that they're safe and they're in their location and where they're going to be, and pick them up and drop them off or have the rides it secured. It was.
Did that work out though? Did the
it all
person
worked out.
testify?
He testified, and
wow.
it explained. He was important, and so, and it was also important showing the tracking of
His
you
device?
see those TV shows and they track. They do track. I mean, you can see somebody's ankle monitor in a house. So let's say you're at home and you're on your ankle monitor. You're going to see the red line going from your bedroom to the kitchen, to the bathroom, to the bedroom, to the family room. You just see this squiggle going back and forth and back and forth. Oh, you went outside and fed the dog. You come back in. I mean, you just see it all.
Interesting.
So, that was important.
That's crazy. I'm glad that worked out. I mean, I'm going to have to ask you whose case that was after, but weren't you also involved somewhat in the Orange County snitch scandal?
I was assigned and worked with Scott Sanders, and
because that case became like, once all this nefarious stuff started coming out, it just like blew up in the legal community.
It did. And I still remember the day that there's 2 days that resonate. One is when back in the day, it's not like this now. Now everything's automated. You get an email or there's discovery. Back in the day, you had to go pick up the paper and you would look at it. And I remember going back and reading the discovery, these police reports with Scott and Kathy. And so that is one day that resonates. Another one was Scott and I out. I just know we were looking for somebody. We were at a gas station, I was filling the car up to return the car, right? And as I'm pumping the gas, Scott says, "Kristen, this is something." And that was the realization.
This is
like
big.
We had that realization before in the so there were 2 that really stand out to me because there were a lot of I spent a lot of time with Scott and with Kathy. I mean, it was a lot.
I was on, it's interesting because there was a related federal case to that. There was a Mexican mafia case with dealing with like the snitch issue that I ended up in trial with in federal court. There was like the same snitch was involved. Yeah. So
because the marshals would bring him.
Yeah. It was crazy. I just couldn't believe like all the stuff that came out about the crookedness. And it was just like, what? This can't be real.
Well, there's moments where you read something and then you're listening to something and the two don't match,
Feel like
or you
something-
notice something's off.
Mhm.
And Scott Sanders is much more eloquent at this than I am. But when you see something, you're like, oh, this is something.
Mhm.
And then you just do that deep dive.
Mhm.
There were a lot of deep dives. I
Oh, I
mean,
can
I don't.
imagine. That guy worked all the time. Like,
Yeah, well, we get phone calls at 2 a.m. I know.
That's
we
crazy.
were each other's, you call and
yeah,
you
beck and
take the
call.
call
Mhm.
and,
Mhm.
it was, my kids all knew there was, oh, Mom, cone of silence, Mom's gone. So,
Cone of silence.
yeah.
What do you think is the most challenging aspects of being an investigator?
Most challenging aspects.
Like safety or getting people to trust you? Because what I would do, because we've had cases together, is I would call you the witness whisperer, because I don't know how you'd get these people to talk. But when you were assigned one of my cases, I'd be like, yes, I got Kristen, because we didn't get to choose the investigator. And as you know, there's other investigators. Their idea of investigating was like, ring, ring. Oh. I tried to contact the witness and they didn't answer. And I'd get this report. I'm like, are you kidding me? That was your attempt at investigation? You know what I'm talking about.
So one of the cases we had together, the DA investigator, I knew that he had gone out and he had secured this interview. And I was like, wow. He got this interview and she made him cookies. I can't believe he got cookies. I mean, what is he doing? I need to go interview her. And so I went, and turns out she passed away, but she was the most wonderful, wonderful woman. And it was
that our fraud case?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And she opened my eyes to a lot of what was happening because she was a victim to the fraud.
Oh, did she make you cookies?
No, I did not get cookies. I figured that was still the contention. I was always giving him a hard time. Like, I still can't believe you got cookies. I didn't get cookies. He goes, I just happened to be there when she was making the cookies.
That's so
I'm like,
funny.
oh, okay. So, and I wasn't going to have her make. She's like, did you want cookies? I'm like, no. I know how he did it now.
Yeah.
Do you have any milk? Oh yeah, I have cookies too. But she was great because she had so much insight into what had happened. And we had a client, but there was also a co-defendant.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have a co-defendant, you oftentimes want to look at what's the situation with the co-defendant and what is really happening. And that case, that was a memorable one.
The case? We ended up getting that dismissed.
Because how often do you get to go to LA and meet the insurance adjuster for Princess Diana's Swan Lake, jewelry? I mean, that was really amazing.
That's crazy.
I had fun on that.
That was a fun case. Don't you think fraud cases are fun? A lot of people don't like them. I love fraud cases.
Well, I also found it interesting that people would invest in a property. There was another person. I don't know if you remember who.
He was the Buena Park one?
Yeah, but
when you took me to that neighborhood in Buena Park and I'm like, what am I doing here?
Well, you had to see that this was a single lot and they were going to sell it as a high-rise.
Yeah.
New York. I'm
in my
LA.
high heels walking around with you. I'm like, oh my gosh, Kristen, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was right behind the Mercedes dealership.
Yeah, the dealership. That's so funny. That was a fun case.
But people were investing, and then they were being not really threatened, but there was the fear that if the money didn't go through, they would lose their money. It was a pyramid
scheme.
Yeah.
And it was kind of fun talking to the witness in Casablanca. And I wanted to go and you wouldn't let me go. You said, no, you don't need to go.
Because I wouldn't have been
You
able
could
to,
do a phone interview, you said.
I wouldn't have been able to go. Like, I didn't get to travel anywhere. But maybe it's because, I don't know, my cases, I didn't have all those heinous murders that you got to go. They would spend the resources on a murder case. You know what I mean?
If you were looking at life without
Mhm.
or the death penalty, they did have the resources, but you had to really need the witness. You didn't just get to go.
Yeah.
And if you did go, sometimes it was not. I mean, I wouldn't say that my trip to Hawaii was fun. It was.
You had to go to Hawaii?
Yeah, that's the key word. You got to go to Hawaii?
Wow.
I mean, that wasn't
I
a
didn't get to go.
vacation. No, we
You're
were
still
there
in
for
Hawaii.
a tsunami. We were there when the dog's name was, I'm going to come up with this. Jamie and I were interviewing
Oh,
a
Jamie.
witness,
Mm.
and we knew about the dog, Cujo, and he was a pit bull. Everybody had pit bulls, everybody that we interviewed. And a lot of the times the man would hold the leashes, which were, by the way, they were chains
Mhm.
on their pit bulls, and they would flex their arms. And there was a lot of show. There was a lot of situations that we were just walking in, just two women, because we didn't want them to think that, number one, we weren't afraid. We just wanted to talk and we just wanted to learn. And if you had the information, you had it. And then, thank you very much. And we're out of here.
Did you get attacked by Cujo?
Yeah, we did.
I was
so
kidding.
after we finished our interview, and we had made sure that Cujo, and we were told, be careful of Cujo. No, Cujo is not a happy dog if somebody's on his property. So we made sure, where's Cujo? And we were told, oh, don't worry, Cujo, he's sleeping, and he's got a leash. Oh,
we're fine.
and Jamie was always, let's go. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. So go in. This is Hawaii. So, we were not at these luxury resorts. We are in homes and neighborhoods. And some homes had the one that we were at, it was a gravel dirt road that you enter, and then you would we walked down a slant, and there were these wall that this wall had been built, and so you're kind of walking. It felt like shoulder length, and we went around to the front, and we met her, and it just felt like Jurassic Park. Kind of that's the feel. And we had our interview. It was hot. We didn't have water with us. I just remember it was late. It was dark when we were leaving, and we were ready to go. And we were told, don't worry, Cujo's still sleeping. Cujo's sleeping a lot. Did you drug him or something? I mean, geez, I don't know any dog that sleeps this long.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay. So we're going to quietly, and we had to, just as we had come in, but now we're a little more on tiptoes as we tiptoe down the stairs.
Past Cujo.
We have yet to see Cujo. So we're tiptoeing and we're not talking. We're just like, and as we turn the corner, and she yells out, our witness, goodbye, it was so nice meeting you. And I thought, oh God, no. And then there was a growl.
Oh.
So it's kind of like Jurassic Park when you hear the, and I just know it was behind us. And Jamie says, run! And we start running. And you hear the
oh, jeez.
And the growling, and you can, and it felt like he was like right here on my shoulder.
Gosh.
And then we jumped that wall. We jumped the wall, and then it was like we were in some military training because there was this old mattress spring, and we're doing and we just kept going, and the dog just. He was right on our tails. And then all of a sudden, you hear this, because the leash was not a leash. It was
Oh.
like this long rope.
Got it. So he finally reached.
So he finally
the end.
reached the end because I'm thinking, we are going to die. We're going to die here. We're going to be eaten by Cujo. And so, yeah, when we left, we were safely in our car and Cujo was standing there looking at us and I did take a picture and he was
Did you
the
frame it?
scariest.
I would have framed it.
I had the picture up for a long time. He was the scariest looking dog.
Wow. I'm glad.
And
you did.
Jamie had always said, I am going to repopulate this area because all these people need to also have golden retrievers.
So they mix, and the dogs are so.
Because everybody had pit bulls.
That's so funny.
So
That's a great.
you knew you were, it was like, oh, a pit bull. Okay, great. I mean, I like pit bulls. But sometimes when you're entering into the property
Yeah.
that they don't know you.
They don't want you on their property.
Right.
I wanted to ask you before we have to end, because you started early in the 90s. Now it's 2025. The resources that are available for investigators has significantly changed over the years. Like now we're like tech. We have so much stuff. What type of resource do you like to use now that's available that you didn't have back in the 90s?
Well, a computer.
That's right. Right. We didn't have computers.
Didn't have a computer.
That's so funny. Besides that,
Um,
that's right. You're literally having to like handwrite everything.
I had a typewriter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I had a typewriter. We had this thing called carbon.
Yes. Remember the carbon machines?
paper. Mhm.
Oh wow. We're dating ourselves.
Yeah. We, I think that the computer and the internet is amazing. You know, one of the first things I do if you're going to look for somebody is you can just Google them.
Right.
And you can find out so much.
That's so true.
You don't need to necessarily do these runs. I mean, the runs are, you do the run. But
What's
you can
a run?
Google them too.
What do you mean a run?
Well, you do a background check, a skip on somebody.
Do you use a certain database for that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I take it that's only available to licensed investigators.
Yes.
Oh, I was gonna say, what source is that? I want to
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah.
I do deep dives on all my witnesses.
Yeah, no, you need to have, yeah, it's a definite vetting process to make sure because it's sensitive information.
That's true. And then
And that is one of the reasons why, for example, I can't remember the amount of hours you need to even apply to be a PI,
Mhm.
but I know that when I thought about it, it was like 4 years of experience.
4 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
I want to say 4. It's not like a year. It's yeah. So I tried to bring in interns from colleges, and
Mhm.
I go and I speak at, and then I love again, just because you work for the public defender doesn't mean that you can't, and yes, the snitch scandal, but you can make friendships
Mhm.
that kind of like the one with the cookies. That you just maintain and you can benefit for your client
That's so true.
and you can learn from them.
Mhm. So true.
So yeah.
I have
But no,
lived-
I would say it's the skip tracing. But we had that. I mean, we did not have that when, what am I saying? Back when I started, we were looking at voter registration.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Voter registration was big.
I do have one last topic. If you were to give advice to like a younger person that might be watching this, that's like, oh, maybe I'd want to be an investigator. What type of advice would you give somebody that's looking into that type of a career?
I think internships. It really is. It's about going out there and watching a court trial.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an intern right now.
Oh, okay.
So like I said with the DA, so he is a professor at
He's a
Irvine Valley
professor? Your
College.
intern's a professor?
No.
Oh, I was
At
like, wait.
the one that when I talked about with the district attorney. So
Mhm.
he is a professor at Irvine Valley College. And through him, I have met some of his students.
Oh, I see.
And
what you're
so
saying.
I have one of the students
Mhm.
who is interning with me.
Nice.
And she was vital because what happens is she knows more about, I'm
I
a
know
dinosaur.
we're
I don't
Gen X.
know.
Like we're
I don't
we're
know
Gen X.
computers.
I know.
Like, oh, you just do this and this.
Yeah.
How'd you do that? So she helps me with that.
Mhm.
But then she comes in and she's able to be there when you're meeting with a witness. I try to involve her
Mhm.
so that she can get the true feeling.
Mhm.
I've had interns where, okay, I have to do this. I have to do this. I had an intern who came in and I love him. He's fabulous. But he came in and he said, I've always wanted to come in and work and, follow the law. And
What? No, just kidding.
well, he thought he was with the district attorney's office.
Oh, okay.
I
That makes
said,
sense.
You might want to be over there.
You might want to go across the street. That's not.
But he really dug in.
Oh,
And
he ended up being good.
He just passed the bar.
Oh, good for him.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
awesome.
So it's just, how could we know everything? We don't know
Yeah.
because we watch TV shows that are not really
Realistic.
accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, a whole homicide can occur on, let's see, Elsbeth, and you've solved it in a week.
30 minutes.
And it's gone to trial.
That's so
but
funny.
or your good old Matlock shows. It takes years.
That's
But
awesome.
it's nice to have an internship gives you the opportunity
See if you like it.
to see if you like it, because you
Mhm.
can decide that, you know what, I do want to go be on the DA side, or you know what, I actually want to go and do civil work,
Mhm,
and I
private.
want to go do. I'm going to say something really boring, so I'm not going to say it. I don't want to ding anybody. But,
That's so funny.
it's an opportunity to learn and
Yeah.
see what you want. And that's what I did. I mean, obviously, I thought I was on track for really, in a way, in college, I was on track for either law school or to go into law enforcement.
Oh, wow.
And I had gone and
Look at
did
you
my
now.
post degree or my post certificate and training. And then it just turns out that I ended up at the public defender.
That's awesome.
So,
Well, our time is up, but thank you so much for joining us. And I know our viewers are going to just probably going to want to hear from you again. So I'll probably have you back on. Thanks, Kristen.
thank you.